All right, today we're gonna make a 3D model of a city. So I was sitting here thinking, what city should I use? If you live in a large city, really big city, San Francisco, Houston, New York, Chicago, Seattle, etc., you can probably find an existing model because those are big enough cities that a 3D designer has gone in and meticulously made a really beautiful model of your city. Now, for everybody else that maybe lives in not one of those major cities, we can make our own 3D model using free data, and then we're gonna take that 3D model and we're gonna print it on a 3D printer. We're gonna build this model with a couple rules. One, we're only gonna use free software. It's freely available, not gonna have to pay for anything. Two, we're not gonna use any advanced 3D modeling techniques. So here's gonna be the steps. One, we need to find our area. Two, we're gonna download the raw, what's called point cloud data. This is not processed. This is the raw data that they got off the aircraft. Then we're gonna take the point cloud data and create our own digital elevation model without removing the trees, without removing the buildings. A couple caveats here. Buildings that have overhangs, like Space Needle is an example, are not gonna look great because they flew over really high and the lasers really didn't hit the lower portions of the structure. This approach works well for more traditional little downtown areas, cities, houses. You'll be able to see really high resolution. All right, first step, you're gonna need this software called QGIS. Go in, download it. Now I'm gonna open myself a new project. We need to get our data. USGS LiDAR Explorer, right there. I'm gonna click over here, show where LiDAR is available. It's most of the country. I'm also gonna click Define Area of Interest. Boop. When we hold Control and select our area, it's gonna let us draw a box around where we care about. I was thinking about a place I want a 3D model of. I want a 3D model of this lovely place. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Roll Tide. All right, I have zoomed in. This is the University of Alabama. That's Bryant-Denny Stadium. There's the quad. I'm a geologist. The geology building, one of them is there. The other one is here. I also worked here in this building when I was at the Alabama Geological Survey. This is a good place. All right, so I held Control and selected this area. We've got this downloadable products thing. DEMs, those are processed maps. We don't want those. We want this LiDAR. So we open it, it's thinking. There we go. Here's the different blocks. I'll tell you the next step. We're gonna drop it over into our GIS software and we're gonna create a digital elevation model. That is the thing you would normally download from the USGS, but they took the trees and stuff away. We want the trees. So we're gonna make our digital elevation model, including the trees. So it's gonna treat them like it's topography. Now there's likely to be holes in the data. Then we're gonna have to do what's called a void fill. I'm telling you this in case you have any issues. Google void fill QGIS and there'll be a tutorial that'll help you walk through. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So I'm just dragging over all of my LAZ files. All right, so there's all the different things. And it doesn't look like much, but when you zoom in, it'll load more and more and more and more data points. And you very quickly see that is the stadium right there. All right, so we're gonna go to this right here, point cloud conversion, export to raster. We're gonna need to pick each one of our point clouds to send over. We want the Z attribute, that's the elevation of the resolution. I'm gonna do 0.5. Tile size is fine. This is what I like to call snack time. So you go get a snack and you get some coffee, Roll Tide. The snack of choice today is a holiday Star Wars popcorn bucket that I got from one of our administrators named Sherry. Thank you, Sherry, for Veterans Day. Let's go ahead and put the caramel, that's butter, some cheese. Why are the buckets so always caramel biased? I'm there for the cheese and the butter. Caramel's fine, but I kind of feel like I have to chew my way through it. So if you see, each one of these has holes in it. So what we want to do is we want to fill in these data gaps, which is nothing, using this fill no data. So we'll take raster 1, we'll take that. We want it to kind of go about 50 pixels either way and kind of average things out. And well, let's just drop that down to about 25. So this would be called void fill. Void fill 1. See, there's before, there's after. It's filled in a lot of the holes. So we're actually going to run this one more time. Only this time we want to use void fill 1. We're going to make it create void fill 11B. Run it again. Now I've got 6 tiled different DEMs, and we got 2 problems here. One, they're tiled. We got to kind of put them together, and the term for that is mosaic. All right, so if you go up in the tool processing bar, type merge raster, you're going to get this tool right here. What that's going to do is shove them into the same file for us, because otherwise they're just going to behave like independent little maps. We don't want that. We want one map. So we're going to take that, merge these rasters together, and create one. Okay, we're going to select the files we want here. And run. Let's do some thinking. So I've filled the voids and I've created one single merge raster. Now I'm going to go up to the raster menu, to the DEM to 3D, and that's going to extract my 3D print. The first option is layer extent, and if you look in the bottom right corner of that, you're going to see draw extent. Select that and then draw the area you want to extract for your 3D print. The model size options are going to set the size of the 3D print and the resolution. So you can set the spacing to 0.2 or even finer. And then the width and the length you need to change to match the size of your printer. All right, I set the vertical exaggeration 4, but I can always shrink that when I get it over into the Bambu Studio software. Ha! All right, my vertical exaggeration's a little much, so I'm gonna cut it down. Oh man, you gotta come see this, Damon. It looks great. Now I just set all my settings in Bambu and exported the model and sent it over. You could colorize different buildings or different features if you wanted to. If you had the time, I just want one big print of Tuscaloosa in the same color. I had a little bit of stringing on this model, so I took my heat gun and cleaned it up, and it looks great.